Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Cold Man Movies, the podcast, the only thing I do now. Anyways guys, another episode, no life updates. I don't got much to talk about, guys. I'm really boring. I kind of have this out on time. I want to have it out by Wednesdays now, and it is Wednesday. So hey, look at that. I got it on time. Woo woo! Okay, drinks, guys. Get your drinks in. I know I definitely need one. My energy's like low. I'm not crazy, and yeah, I think I'm just not excited to talk about the movies this week because there really wasn't much movies that I watched this week. I watched a total of 8, I think, and 5 of them were ones that I didn't love, and so I don't care to really watch movies. I'm going to Chicago soon, guys, within a month. Look at Chicago. Don't you guys love Chicago? There's the Hancock building. That's Sears Tower, aka Willis. That's when I'm in Willis Tower. Sears Tower, whatever you want to call it. See, I'd rather talk about Chicago right now. Anyways, guys, grab your drink. Today I am drinking a apple cider mixed with vodka. It's fall. You gotta do some kind of fall drink, right? Tasty. And I'm using my straw that's reusable because I love the environment, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. I do. Good job for the environment. How far can you see in that Chicago picture? It was kind of foggy that day. You can see pretty far out. I just love Chicago, guys. I can't wait to go back to Chicago. I think that's Wrigley Field over there. It's so cool. So cool. All right, guys, let's talk about movies, shall we? Let's get talking about movies. Starting with our first one, guys. Final Destination. I remember watching all 5 of these movies in 2011, 2012, somewhere in there. My last couple years of high school, I remember watching these movies. And it had been 10 years, I guess. And I was just thinking to myself this last week, I remember watching those. I remember enjoying parts of those, but I don't remember much about them. This is all I really remembered, guys. I remember there was something in a car or a highway scene. I remember there was something with a roller coaster. I remember the Shinedown song, Devour. I remember tanning beds, and I remember eye laser. That's literally all I remembered. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to rewatch these movies. And I now realize why I don't remember anything about these movies. The first Final Destination, guys, one with the plane, the kid sees them all dying in a plane, they all get out of the plane. Trying to remember how any of these people die in this first movie. One of them dies in the shower getting hung, kind of, right? I honestly don't know. I really don't know, guys. I will say this movie probably has some of the best acting in the entire franchise. That's not saying much. But it's just people dying in creative ways. And again, I don't even remember how anyone died in this movie. I really don't. I am struggling to remember it. I guess it's been about a week, but I don't remember how anyone dies in this movie. I don't remember. I really don't. I know there was something with the plane. I think someone gets hung in the shower. Like a wire comes and hangs them. I don't know. I don't remember. This movie's like a 3 out of 10, guys. It's not good. This entire franchise is awful. It's not good. It is fun in the sense there are creative deaths, but you'd rather watch them on YouTube. That's my review of the first one, guys. We're going on to the second one. Oh boy. Second one, the acting gets even worse. This is the one where they're on the highway, I think. And she sees everyone dying on the highway. I'm trying to think how people die in this one. The one guy gets killed in his apartment when he puts his hand in the disposer, whatever you want to call it, garbage disposal thing. And then his apartment starts on fire. He goes down the fire escape and then goes through his eyeball. I think that's this one. I'm thinking if I look at their faces, maybe I'll remember. Guys, I don't remember. That's about all I got. I do not remember how anyone died. Wait a minute, is this the one? No, that's the fourth one. That's all I got. Again, guys, the acting's worse in this one. I'll give this one like, I'll give this one a 3 out of 10 too, because acting is just bad in all of these, but I can't remember anything about this movie, guys. I've seen it literally less than a week ago. I don't remember anything about it. I just remember the one person dying by ladder. That's it. 3 out of 10. This is going to be a shorter episode today, guys, because I just have not much to say about these movies. And we'll kind of go through all of them at the end. I'll go through more depthness, I guess, of what I think of this franchise. Final Destination 3. I think this is my favorite out of the franchise. They get on a roller coaster, and she sees Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who's kind of become a bigger actor now, actually. Quite a bit bigger of an actor. She sees it this time around. Trying to think how people die in this one. This is the tanning bed one, which is that's a cool one. This isn't the car wash one, is it? Yeah, I don't think so. I think that's the 4th one. There's a train. They die at the end on the train. Twist ending kind of thing. Guys, that's all I got. I don't remember much about this one. I will say Mary Elizabeth Winstead does a lot better job than all the other actors. She gives a really good performance in this one. And this one's probably my favorite because of that. Like, you actually give a flying flippity-flu-fla about her. Just a teeny tiny bit more. I'm still trying to think of... Oh, excuse me. People who die in this one besides tanning bed. At least I remember the tanning bed. Tanning bed. Guys, I can't remember. I just can't remember. Maybe I'll remember as I'm talking about it, but this is still getting a 3 out of 10, guys. Even though Mary Elizabeth Winstead puts it up a little bit more. There's a guy that gets smashed by the crane thingy because the fireworks. Am I right? Maybe? I think I'm right. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. I don't know for sure, though. Final Destination 4. Now, this is probably the worst, in my opinion, guys. Which is funny, because one of the things I said I remembered about this franchise is the song Devour. And that's at the opening of this movie. This movie was a 3D. So basically half this movie is just shots that are meant to be in 3D. And they're really bad CGI crap shots. Yeah. Acting is probably the worst in this movie. Feels like you're watching Days of Our Lives or something. When this guy has dreams, he sees things, and it's CGI like knives and crap coming at him, because for 3D. It's got tits in this movie, though. There's a weird, interesting sex scene in this movie, and it does have tits. I do like that. I remember how some people die in this one, too. There's the guy who goes in the swimming pool and gets his ass sucked out, basically, almost. That's interesting. I think this is the car wash, too, but she gets out. And then there's the movie theater, which they don't actually die in. But it's the movie theater. And he stops it before it happens. Doesn't someone get dragged, too? Someone gets dragged on the street and, like, started on fire, the racist guy. That's about all I got. This movie sucks. This one's like a 2 out of 10. I hated this movie. This movie is so bad. The best thing about this movie is the opening credits with Shinedown's Devour. Everything else about this movie is stupid. The deaths aren't even that great, in my opinion. That's all I got, guys. Oh, I need to take a drink before we talk about the last one. The Final Destination. How does this one even start? Something with cars again? I honestly don't even remember how this one starts, guys. This was the one I watched recently. I don't even remember how it starts. I don't remember. I really don't, guys. I feel like it's something with cars again. Like back on the road? Maybe? I don't remember. I really don't. I don't know. Was this one of the dental office, maybe? No, I think it's the fourth one. I don't know, I can't remember. Oh, the fourth one also has the one where there's the lawnmower and it goes the rock and through her eyeball, I think. Again, I don't even know for sure, guys. I feel like the fourth one's the one I remember the most deaths from. This one had the one with the eye, I know that. Guys, that's it. I can't remember anything about this movie, and I was completely sober watching it. I really do not remember anything. I do remember this one has the stupid twist ending where it's actually right before the first one. At the end of this movie, people got off the plane because something, and then the plane explodes, showing that it takes place right before the events of the first one, meaning that, like, which makes no sense. Because aren't they using, like, phones and stuff in this one? They're using, like, technology that would not be out. Something, I don't know. I could be wrong on that. Guys, I don't remember anything about this franchise. This franchise is so unmemorable. There are some fun deaths, but it would be so much better if we just watched them on YouTube, guys. This is just stupid. This is really bad. This entire franchise is no good. I can't believe they made 5 of these things. Yeah, guys, I had a really terrible time watching this franchise again, and I hope this video footage of me talking about it, and I'm going to make sure it's recording so that I can make sure that I do actually have video footage of me. Oh, we do. Hopefully I'll remember this, because I had video footage of me saying, Cody, for the love of God, don't watch these movies again. They suck. Just go on YouTube and YouTube best death scenes from Final Destination franchise, and that's all you need to do. Maybe that weird, interesting sex scene. That girl has nice titties. That's about all I got to say. This entire franchise is like a 3 out of 10 for me, guys. It's not good. It's really bad. Maybe you could enjoy this drunk or high. I don't know. Personally, I had no fun with this at all. It was absolutely boring, guys. This is such a terrible franchise. We'll talk a little later this week on what franchise I'm watching this week, and then another franchise I'm hoping to be watching for Halloween month. So, better franchises coming. I got this out of the way. Wow, what a bad franchise. So bad. So, you guys, we're only 13 minutes into this episode, and I've already talked about over half the movies. That's a bad thing. That's how dumb these movies are. If you've not seen these movies, and you don't necessarily believe me on how bad that they are, well, the fact that we're only 13 minutes in and I'm almost done talking about them, that's a sign. The writing is bad. The acting is bad. The special effects are bad. The use of 3D is so bad. Technically, even, they're not the greatest. The camera angles, there's not a lot of care, not a lot of direction put into this franchise. And I don't know. If you're going to watch one of them, maybe watch the third, I guess. I guess that's probably my favorite. I think there's some creative deaths, and Mary Elizabeth Weinstein, instead, whatever it is. She's great. Can we talk about something else now? After I take a drink. Oh, jeez. What a bad set of movies. Next up, guys, we are going back to my Dahmer obsession lately. I told you guys I watched, what did I watch? Dahmer, the Monster series on Netflix. I also watched something else, didn't I? Oh, I watched Conversations with a Killer on Gacy, John Wayne Gacy. So I've become interested in not serial killers necessarily, but just what they're thinking, what they're feeling, why they do these things. That's what I've become really fascinated on. And after I saw Dahmer, the Monster series, I was really excited to hear that this was coming out. And it is absolutely really interesting to hear Dahmer himself talking about these things and not even understand himself on a lot of things, why he was doing the things that he did, and even just some of the things he did have explanations for. It's just interesting how it all went. There are some things that I learned from this too. I had no clue that as a child he had a friend that like he had kissed and such like that. I had no clue that kind of the thing that brought him back to start killing again after years of not killing was a man asking him at the library if he wanted a blowjob. I found that just fascinating. And then, yeah, just everything Dahmer said, everything that his lawyer said. I love how his lawyer said that this was I didn't know this was the first case she really ever had. That right there is interesting enough. And then the fact that she began to start thinking of Dahmer as like a son at points, as a friend, a brother. It's just very interesting. And then the day that he wanted to go from being isolated from the prison to being out with everyone, and how she didn't want him to go because she knew he was going to get killed. Just fascinating stuff. Just this entire thing was so fascinating, and I'm so glad we could hear that these tapes were recorded and that we could just hear Dahmer talk about these things. And I don't even want to talk much about this. I think if this is the kind of thing that interests you, you should definitely see it. It's very interesting. And there's just so many different things you listen to and look for. Just how calm Jeffrey is during this entire thing. And how he just literally does seem sorry for what he did. How he hates himself for what happened. It's absolutely fascinating to me. Like I said, I don't want to say too much more about this. It's so interesting. It's something you definitely want to listen to and be paying attention to. It's only a 3-part documentary series. It's 3 hours long. Guys, it's very interesting stuff here. I get all the controversy going out right now with the victims' families, how they weren't contacted, how they've tried to kind of move on with their lives, and now this stuff is coming up again. I do get all that, but at the same time, there's people out there who have no clue who Jeffrey Dahmer is. People my age, when Jeffrey Dahmer was killed, I was 3 months old, 4 months, 5, 6 months old. I was very young. So the fact that I knew who he was, I don't even know how I figured out who he was, but I definitely knew who he was before watching this, and it is just all very interesting stuff, guys. And I'm not trying... I don't talk about these things and watch these things because I just think it's cool and awesome. I'm trying to learn from it more than anything. It's so interesting, so fascinating, and like... The interesting thing I find with Dahmer, too, is there's some similarities between him and I. Dahmer seemed to be very much, he was a loner, is what I will say. I feel that I'm very much a loner. And I also feel like Dahmer, in his day-to-day life, had to put on this persona, that he was something else that he wasn't. I feel I do that too. At work, I'm very loud. I'm very talkative. That is not who I am, though. That is not who I am in real life. To the point that on days where I'm tired and I don't have the energy to be this persona that I put on, this talkative, loud Cody, people don't like it. People are uncomfortable by it because I'm being myself. And that is so... I have that similarity with Dahmer. I've never wanted to kill anyone. I have no interest in killing anyone. I have no interest in taking dead animals apart or anything like that. So obviously we're not the same. It fascinates me, the similarities, I guess. And I would say I had a very sheltered childhood. I don't think Jeffrey had necessarily a sheltered childhood, but he had a very different childhood than everyone else. And I would say I had a little bit of different childhood compared to everyone else that I went to high school with, at least. I was very sheltered. And my parents were very scared of the world, I've come to realize. In my opinion. This is all my opinion, of course, but My parents are very scared of the world. And because of that, they've made me scared of the world. And I'm slowly recovering from that. And that's why this really fascinates me. That was on a little bit of a side rant, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, guys, fascinating documentary series. If you're even slightly interested in this stuff, if you don't want to see a dramatization of it, if you want the facts, just the facts, if you just want to learn about something that you maybe didn't know about, this might be something for you to watch. Yeah, I give this like a solid, guys, I really enjoy this. This is like a 9 out of 10. It is so interesting hearing Jeffrey Dahmer talk, and just someone like someone like John Wayne Gacy, he just didn't seem to care. He was glad those people were dead. Jeffrey Dahmer legit feels terrible that these people, like the way he talks, he feels so terrible of all these people dying, and he wants to help the police, and he wants to let everyone know what happened and why he did it. And it fascinates me. It really does, guys. Probably gonna hear a book review soon in the future, because I requested a book from the library just on him, because it's just so fascinating to me. But anyways, guys, yeah, that's Conversations with Killer, Jeffrey Dahmer tapes. Next up, guys, I watched the new Hellraiser. I remember as a child seeing the poster or the DVD cover of Hellraiser and thinking, wow, that guy looks so cool and creepy and awesome. And I've always wanted to watch it. I think back in 2013, 14, 15, somewhere in there, I watched Hellraiser for the first time, and I thought it was fine. I thought it was very slow, very acting. I didn't think it was anything spectacular. Excuse me. I apologize. I didn't think it was anything spectacular. I thought it was a little overrated, overhyped. I never went on to watch any of the 9 other sequels, I think, that came out after that first one. It just didn't fascinate me. The reviews were never really good on these things. But this new movie came out. As I said last week, I really didn't want to go see Amsterdam. Spoiler alert, I did not see Amsterdam this week. I did not even go to the theater this week, which is really weird. But when you do not have A-list anymore, and you're actually paying money to go see a movie, and you don't know any of the staff really there, and you just don't feel like going, you don't go see crap movies. So I decided to stay home and watch Hellraiser. This movie's fine, guys. It's very interesting as far as there's this little puzzle thing, and every time you get the puzzle right, basically your prize is demons from hell or universe or whatever. They come and try to torture you in horrible, awful ways. There's some fun creative kills. There's some fun special effects. There's some decent acting in this one, I will say. But the movie is very slow, very boring. This is just not my kind of movie. I think there's a lot of people out there that do like this movie, that do like this franchise, and that's great. I'm so glad that you have a franchise that you like. And I hope you enjoy this one then. I don't hate this movie. It's just kind of a movie. I wasn't a fan. I'll never watch it again. This is not going to become the new horror movie for me to be watching every Halloween season. It's just fine. I watched it. Technically, it's very, very good. Same director as The Night House with Rebecca, what's her name? Not Rebecca Ferguson. Rebecca Black? Is that her name? I think that's her name, Rebecca Black. Something like that. Anyways, guys, same director as The Night House, and he does put a lot of care into his movies, it seems like, and that's great. And this one is technically well done, and it's fine, and I will never watch again. It's like a 5 out of 10 for me, guys. It's not my type of movie. Yeah. It's very weird and very different, and just not my cup of tea. But I think other people would like it, honestly. And it is technically well done. That's about all I got to say. There's not much for me to talk about this week, which is sad and unfortunate, but it is what it is. That's Hellraiser, guys. Last movie I watched this week, guys, we watched a movie from my film club group. that I have, and I forget what this week's category even was. I really don't remember. But the movie that was picked was Donnie Darko. I think I saw this back during 2020, during the pandemic. I decided to finally watch this movie. I'd never watched it. So I decided to try it out. And I remember really not liking it, thinking it was technically well done, great acting, blah, 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 but the movie itself was boring and dumb. So I went in watching it this week with my film group, and a lot of people in the chat were already were like, I've watched this movie 100 times, I love this movie. And I was like, it's fine, it's okay. Guys, I don't like this movie. This movie is so boring and so slow. And like the people in my chat last night were talking about how everyone feels so real. There is a teacher that says, sit next to the cutest boy and that's where you sit. That does not happen in school. That does not feel real. Are you kidding me? I think everyone in this movie feels so unrealistic. There's a family, there's some humor in this movie, which I enjoyed. A couple of scenes where I was laughing. There's a scene where they're at the dinner table and they're calling each other all these names. That's hilarious. Does that happen in real life like that, though? I don't know. My family's not normal, I guess. We ate in 5 minutes and didn't talk to each other much at the dinner table because we all hate each other. Yeah, guys, this movie, again, technically, it's good. It looks really great. The cinematography, the special effects that it has, the sound editing, sound mixing, all the camera movements and angles are all great. I just find this movie kind of boring. And just, I don't know, just a little, it's another one that's just a little too weird for me. Like, I've watched, so every time I watch this, the 2 times I've watched this movie, I'm like, I don't understand. I kind of get what happened, but I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. And so I turn on, I go in YouTube reviews of it. The one I find is Chris Stuckman's review. And he talks about what he thinks happens in this movie. And he talks about the director's cut, in which there's a segment in which that one book, I forget the Travel Through Time or whatever it's called, is brought up, and they really explain more of it in the director's cut, I guess. Even with that explanation, I don't love it. I don't know. I think this movie's just a little too weird for me, and I don't love that. It's not my cup of tea. But it's technically fine, and if you like this movie, great. I'm so happy people in my film group like this movie. I don't. I really don't. Yeah, this is a 5 out of 10 for me, guys. All these movies this week have been crap. This week has been awful as far as movies go. But yeah, guys, that's all I really have for movies this week. I am so sorry that this week was kind of short, and I didn't have much to talk about, and I'm kind of just negative about everything. I'm drained from watching crappy movies, in my opinion. But let's talk about movies coming out this week, shall we? We have Armageddon Time. I don't think this movie is coming out anywhere near me. It just said on IMDb that it is coming out. Is it actually? It says only in theaters October 28th. Maybe it's early. IMDb is a liar then. It says, maybe we'll talk about this later on. It says October 28th. It's got Anne Hathaway, Jeremy Strong, and Anthony Hopkins in it, though. I'm kind of excited for this movie. I have no clue what it's about. It takes place in New York, it looks like. I see the Twin Towers. This must be before 9/11. Who's James Gray? I know I've heard that name. I don't know who that is. That's about all I got talking about this movie, guys. It doesn't even look like it's coming out this week. I don't know why we're talking about this one. The real movie that's coming out, really the only big movie coming out this week, guys, is Halloween Ends. So I will be watching all the Halloween movies, at least that take place in this canon of the movies. Halloween has been so weird because there was Halloween 1 and 2 that were connected. Halloween 3 has nothing to do with anything. 4, 5, and 6, I believe, were connected to the originals. And then there's Halloween H2O, which ignores 3, 4, 5, 6, and does 1, 2, Halloween H2O. And then there's 7, which is connected to 1, 2, Halloween H2O, and then 7. and then they rebooted it, I think, and then it was Halloween 2018, which only connected to Halloween 1987, is it? And then it's Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. So weird chronologic of stuff. I've talked about Halloween Ends on this channel before, if you haven't seen it. I really do not like Halloween Ends. We'll talk about this more next week when I watch the movie, I guess. Again, unfortunately. Really did not like Halloween Ends. It's such a movie. I'm a little bit excited for this. Jamie Lee Curtis is going around doing her press tour for it. She sounds very excited for it, even though she doesn't love horror movies and never watches these movies. If this really is the end of Halloween, which I don't believe it is, I do believe it might be the end of Jamie Lee Curtis playing Laurie Strode, which is... I hope this movie's good then. If it's bad, I don't want it to be the last time she plays Laurie Strode. But yeah, guys, I'm kind of excited for it. I'm kind of not, though. The fact that it's also going straight to Peacock concerns me. I think if it was really an amazing movie, A, reviews would be out for it. There's no reviews out for this movie yet. B, it would not be going straight to Peacock. It would just be in theaters. And I think this movie might even be worse than Halloween Kills. And that's why it's going straight to Peacock. And that's why reviews are not up yet. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Also, I have said this from the second that teaser came out. I watched the teaser and that's it. My buddy from Chicago shared it with me. Laurie Strode is going to die taking out Michael. Now, from interviews I have heard, I think they've kind of let slip that one of the last shots in this movie is Laurie sitting in a car, relieved Michael's finally dead. I don't know if that's true. That's kind of what I'd gotten out of one of the interviews, and I was like, oh, man. So I don't know, guys. I am excited for this movie in the sense it's a Halloween movie. I love Michael Myers. He's fantastic. But as far as everything else goes, guys, I love Jamie Lee Curtis. I love Michael Myers. But that last movie really killed me. Halloween 2018, we'll just talk more about this next week and how I thought of all 4 of these movies in this technically new rebooted franchise. So we'll talk more in depth about this next week, guys. So I'm semi-excited. I hope it's good. It doesn't even have to be great. It doesn't have to be amazing. I just hope it's good. So yeah, we will see if that is in fact what happens. I hope it's, just make it good. And yeah, guys, I think that's all I have to talk about. Yeah, a very short episode, guys. A little over 30 minutes. I don't have much else to talk about, guys. I hope you're enjoying your Halloween and all that fun stuff. Halloween month, I should say. It's not quite Halloween yet. Yeah, guys, I don't have much to talk about this week. I apologize. My energy has been very low. I have been finding myself constantly wanting to sleep lately. I think I'm just catching up from sleep from being a manager. But like last night I went to bed at like 9 or 10 o'clock. And I didn't wake up till 9 o'clock. And it's just, I just want to sleep more. I'm so tired. So, but I got stuff to do. I am trying to move down south. Hoping like hell I can find a place and move. That's the goal. But we'll see what happens. Anyways, guys, I hope you have yourself a great week. That's about all I have to talk about. Have yourself some drinks. Enjoy your Halloween movies or anything else you're watching this week. Not much for me to update you on. That's about it, guys. That is my life. I hope you guys have a great week. I guess we'll see you next time. I feel this is so weird. I have nothing to talk about. And yeah. I don't know, guys. Stuff's going on outside. Anyways, guys, I hope you have a good week. I have nothing else to talk about. This is getting weird. I'll see you next week. Bye.